First, Father Gruner, let me say that I'm confident that I speak for everyone in this room when I say thank you from the bottom of my heart for your passion, your fight, your apostolate, because it is through your relentlessness that the message of Fatima will get out. So thank you, first and foremost. I only have one brief question, and then I'm sure you want to get out and enjoy your birthday, so buon compleanno. Yesterday you mentioned that you believed that Pope Benedict XVI was the Pope, or the Cardinal in white, the Bishop in white rather, that the apparition of Fatima speaks of. And my question is, what makes you believe that Pope Benedict XVI will suffer this death? Why now? Why does the third secret deal with our time? What signs do we have that it's upon us right now?
Well, you can read much to bring about, first of all, the larger context of the question. The third secret refers to our time. I think there's no doubt about that. But just to defend it, Sister Lucy, I'll give you 4 things. And this all comes from Frère Michel in his 3rd volume of his 2,000-page works. We have it there. You're welcome to a copy of it. But I'll try and summarize it. There are 4 points we know it concerns our time. First of all, the third secret is part of the whole secret. So the third secret comes in order. She talks about, in the second part of the secret, talks about the Second World War, the Great Sign of 1938, and that the Second World War would come about because of the sins of men. It could have been prevented by the consecration, but it wasn't obviously done. And then in 1960, she wants the secret released by 1960, and now we have it, thanks to Cardinal Bertone, we have the handwritten order, Lucy's own words saying, Our Lady, by express order, wanted it released in 1960. So, why? And then Lucy was asked one time, why 1960? And she said, because it would be clearer then. I think she told that to Cardinal Altiabiani. So here you have, it's a prophecy. We have Cardinal Altiabiani telling us a prophecy. Therefore, it's foretelling the future. It's foretelling the future that becomes clearer in 1960. What becomes clear in the prophecy? Well, the prophecy starts to become realized. It's started in 1960 or shortly before 1960. So the next thing we know about it is, at the end of the secret, we have the famous words of Our Lady, but in the end, my Immaculate will triumph. The Holy Father will consecrate Russia to me. Russia will be converted and pure peace given to mankind. So here we are in 1960, and the period, we haven't got the consecration yet, and where are we? We're in that period. So we're in the time of the third secret. It applies to us now. So now, to come to your more specific question, which is, why do I think the third secret, that is more exactly the vision of the Pope dressed in white, who was executed, as was released by the Vatican in 2000, who was executed or shot, as it describes him, by a band of soldiers. I point out that in the message of, in Rianjo, 1931, to Sister Lucy, she asks, our Lord says, make it known to my ministers. So just remember, in 1929, our Lord came with the Blessed Virgin and in the Holy Trinity, and Our Lady speaks, in which Our Lady says, the moment has come in which God asks the Holy Father to make and to command all the bishops of the world to make. And there's 2 versions of that. I'm quoting the second one. It's on page 555 of the 2nd volume of Frère Michel. It's a document in Lucy's own handwriting, and the word is command. The one that we have, which is more commonly known, is actually rewritten by her Jesuit confessor. The first one got destroyed, but the second one has the word, the Pope has to command the bishops. And I gave an reason why that is. But let's just get to the... So, in 1929, Sister Lucy is told, very formally, in the formal apparition for the consecration of Russia. 2 years later and 2 months later, our Lord comes to Sister Lucy. She was praying in the chapel in Rianjo in Spain, and she was in Our Lady of Guadalupe shrine. Actually, not Guadalupe from Mexico, but Guadalupe from Spain. So it was a replica of that. And there our Lord says, she was praying for the conversion of Russia, Spain, Portugal. Our Lord congratulates her for praying. I very much, I like the fact that I forget how he puts it. He says, you please me, that's how he phrased it. You please me very much by praying for the conversion of those 4 nations. Ask it also of my mother. He then dictates 2 prayers for Lucy to say. He says, pray often, sweet heart of Mary, be the salvation of Russia, Spain, Portugal, Europe, and the whole world. Sweet heart of Mary, be the salvation of Russia, Spain, Portugal, Europe, and the whole world. So first of all, to those who say we're picking on Russia, the message of Fatima understands it's not just Russia that needs conversion. The whole world needs conversion, and particularly Spain, Portugal, and Europe. Not to take part against the rest of the world. The whole world needs conversion. So one thing. Second thing is, he says, at other times pray, by thy pure and immaculate conception, O Mary, obtain for me the conversion of Portugal, of Russia, Spain, Portugal, Europe, and the whole world. So, first of all, there, but then he says, make it known to my ministers, given they follow the example of the King of France. They will follow, in delaying the execution of my command, like him, like the King of France, they will follow him into misfortune. Well, what is the misfortune of the King of France? And what did he do? The King of France was told by the Sacred Heart to consecrate France to the Sacred Heart, by putting the Sacred Heart on the flags of France, to consecrate his court to the Sacred Heart and so forth. And the kings of France for 100 years did not obey. So, asking me about timing, 2017, we have now 93 years passed by. We have 7 years to go to 2017. Now, it's not said that we have, but in St. Alphonsus writes in his theology, he says that everything with God is measured. God, before you're born, has an allotment of how many mortal sins you're allowed to commit. After that allotment is reached, that's it. Some people have 0 allotment. So, and no one knows what the allotment is. Everything is measured by eyedropper with God, including the amount of time that he gives for obeying a command. And it's clearly seen to the day that the King of France was given the order, from the time St. Margaret Mary received it to the time he was stripped of the power to be able to carry it out, was 100 years to the day. 17th of June, 1689, 17th of June, 1789. And by the way, the feast of St. Gregory Barbaragio is the 17th of June, the same relic that John 23rd put the secret in is St. Gregory Barbaragio's thing, 17th of June. Is that a coincidence? You can call it that. Is that something that God is trying to tell us something? 17th of June, 100 years to the day. Maybe we've got 100 years to the day. He's trying to tell us something. Given they follow the example of the King of France in delaying the execution of my command, like him, they will be executed. Now you have the vision given to us in 2000, read by Cardinal Ratzinger and Archbishop Bertoni. I believe that I think it's also significant that Cardinal Ratzinger is actually reading, which I believe to be his own death notice, because he is the bishop in white. Now, why would I say that? Well, first of all, we're running out of time. We have 7 years to go. And yes, it's possible that Pope Ratzinger will die before 2017. And that's one possibility. The second thing is that there are people who have prophetic gifts, who I've seen proving themselves, and he tells me that this Pope will not do the consecration of Russia. Now, then it's a mathematical deduction. If it won't be this Pope doing the consecration of Russia, but I believe that this Pope will release the whole secret finally, it will be this Pope that has to die in that vision. Not that I'm imposing it on, but that's just the force of the prophecy is conditional for delaying it. The next Pope will get the message and do the consecration. So that's where I deduce it from. I don't know if that's clear enough, but I hope that is.